Hi everybody, it's Dr. V. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here and for all of your love, all of your likes, support, comments, private readings that you've purchased, energy exchange donations. Y'all are just the best. I love you. Thank you so much. Today I'm going to do the karmic energy reading for this current week. August, what was that? Yesterday was like the 13th. So go through this week. If you have the desire to purchase a private reading, I do have some availability coming up. You can do so by clicking the link below, or you can click the header photo on this channel and that will get you where you need to go. So Spirit, please use me as a clear channel for communication. May the messages that come through be in the highest good of all those concerned. I draw a sacred circle around this space, setting my ego to the outside. I call upon my angels, guides, higher wisdom, ascended masters, divine love, my counsel, to be with me, to guide these messages for the highest good of all those concerned. Okay, I'm just lighting up some Palo Santo. So let's do it. I'm going to use the Spellcaster Tarot as well as the Lay Mermaids, or I'm sorry, I keep saying Lay Mermaids, Lay Vampires by Lucy Cavendish. And so let's just jump right in. Let's look at the current energies for the karmic situation. Yes, I did adjust my my view. It's odd the way it looks to me because you guys know I'm a little bit OCD, and so like this isn't covering my entire desk, but I felt better this way. So anyway, the energy of the karmic situation. Let's see. Wow, we've got the Queen of Cups energy. We've got the Star in reverse and the Page of Pentacles. So the Queen of Cups energy is like, you know, the Queen of Love. This is like, the Queen of Cups is loving. She has this really very feminine kind of energy. Person who feels very like, who's someone who's romantically desired. People want this person, people are attracted to this person. Somebody who feels like they're really outgoing, has a bubbly personality. So this energy is very like outgoing, energetic, loving kind of energy, which is, you know, certainly positive, but it can also speak to a level of vanity. Okay, this could be somebody, it's, you know, somebody who, if it goes towards the shadow side of things, it's somebody who can be overly invested in their appearance. It's somebody who, like, they spend so much time, they spend more time cultivating their outer appearance than they do their inner. And it's, you know, if they spend as much time meditating as they do, like, putting on face masks or whatever, or masks to their public persona, they would be a much better person overall. And the reason that I'm seeing that, because I don't normally read the Queen of Cups in the upright in that way, but with this Star in reverse, this is the Star in reverse is about disappointments, feeling a sense of sorrow, feeling kind of hopeless. It could feel like somebody who just feels like there's not enough. They may feel a little bit cynical. They may feel like they've been wounded or bruised or somehow some kind of energy in that sense toward their life. Sorry, I'm adjusting the camera a little bit. It's definitely this energy of feeling like maybe not just, you know, feeling like they're a little bit lonely. Definitely an interesting energy when it's right next to this energy. And then with the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles is somebody who is really, I mean, if you look at this thing, is giant. It's a giant ass pentacle, right? It's like this guy is just carrying this around. And it's like the energy of the Page of Pentacles is somebody who is really, you can almost go into that energy of like workaholism, someone who's really dedicated, someone who's really focused on something, could be even to the point of being focused on to the point to being obsessive about it. And so when I read all these cards together, the energies together, what I'm getting is that at the core, this karmic situation, it feels very down. It feels very hopeless. It feels very much like there's not a lot of positive energy to it. But they're really trying to hold this facade of everything being great, of things being perfect, or building this facade of where people admire them and people feel like are looking toward this like you know that saying, keeping up with the Joneses, where it's like there may be this image that's being cultivated, this obsessive focus on what the material world, right? Like focusing on what things look like rather than on the core essence of things. And so it just feels like there's this kind of, if you looked at them, if you were watching them, you'd be like, oh, this looks like a great situation. Like, so this is the kind of energy that when you have somebody, because again, this could be primarily, when I read these, it's primarily around people who have karmic partners, but it can also be like people who have karmic energies with their parents, where it's like you have parents often who are like, you think they're the greatest parent in the world. Everything looks great, and then you scratch the surface a little bit and you're like, wow, this family is a freaking disaster. So that's that's the energy that I'm getting, is that it's like, if you're just looking at it from the outside, you're thinking, well, things don't look too bad right now. But if you were to actually dig a little bit deeper, you would see that things are actually not very positive at all. So I'm going to pull a card from the Vampires deck. I'm saying mermaids. I've got mermaids on the brain. Just kind of see a little bit, get a little further insight into this. Like, what is the overall energy, spirit, with this karmic situation? The overall energy from the Vampires deck, please, spirit. Compassion, empathy, simpatico, kindness. Interesting. So you see that it's like that person is kind of dying in her arms, and she's holding him up. You know, this card is about that there's an energy in this situation that feels like people are trying to be compassionate toward each other. So it's like maybe one of the people in the situation has had a not so great past, and so they are trying to be compassionate toward the other, trying to have understanding, trying to understand that even though things feel really can feel really hopeless right now, they're trying to stay in the space of compassion and being like, well, you know, I'm not going to be another person to bail on this individual because they've had enough pain in the past. And you know, that kind of energy of like, I don't really want to be another person to cause harm to them, or that they feel like I caused harm. And so there's a lot of compassion that's being extended right now, a lot of kindness, and it's not necessarily you know, it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, okay? It's just saying, like, sometimes people need to have the ability to fall in order to come back together. So I feel like sometimes, and that's what happens a lot in these karmic situations, is that codependent energy is about protecting people from their pain. It's about, you know, shielding them from the consequences of their actions. And the reality is that as long as you're shielding someone from the consequences of their actions, you're actually hindering their growth. Sometimes people need to fall down so they can pick themselves back up. And that is the energy that is coming through with this compassion card, where it's like, if you hold if you're the scaffolding for somebody and you never let them reach that tower moment and let things fall apart, let them fall flat on their face so they can learn, then you're actually not doing them any good. So sometimes compassion, when it goes into the extreme, can actually be a hindrance. And it feels like that's a little bit of what's happening right now with like being overly compassionate to the point of empowering and enabling someone's bad behavior. So what is the divine counterpart bringing to the situation? So we've got the Chariot in reverse, the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and wow, the Seven of Swords in reverse. A lot of reverse energies. So the Chariot in reverse is definitely about an energy of being stuck, stagnant, not moving forward. It's like the chariot, the wheels have fallen off and they're just not going anywhere. There's just no movement right now. It's just like, you know, water flowing into the Dead Sea. There's just no motion. There's no movement. Like the divine counterpart in this situation is stuck. This person is moving slower than molasses in the winter. That's just where they are. It's just like nothing happening. Okay, they're not feeling a whole lot of passion. They're not feeling a whole lot of motivation. They're just kind of being. They're just kind of existing. And part of it is because this Two of Pentacles, they're like seriously imbalanced. There's chaos around them. Literally, it's like I feel like their life, their energy, they're not moving anywhere because there's too much chaos. It's like they're just kind of standing there in the middle because things are swirling around. This could also talk about like this could be somebody who is imbalanced in the sense of like maybe they're using too many substances. They could be engaging in addictive behaviors, whatever, any of that kind of stuff, which is definitely imbalance. They could be working too hard. They could be investing too much in other pursuits. That is definitely, certainly a possibility. Going with this pentacle energy, this Page of Pentacles, the kind of workaholism, they could be in that, working too much, investing too much energy in that. This can also be somebody who is heading toward a fall. This could be somebody, you see this one is standing on a log, so precarious. So this could be somebody that's about to fall, take a fall for something. There may be some deception that they've been engaging in that may cause them to fall flat on their face. It could be a lot of things that are happening, but it's just they're extremely out of balance, just not in a good space. So we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. The Seven of Swords is the upright is somebody sneaking away. This is like the thief in the night, right? He's like, he grabbed his stuff and he's just gonna like take off with these swords. Hopefully not get caught. In reverse, it's saying like this is somebody who is, who gets caught in the act. Okay, this is somebody who it may be. Again, this is a card of delay. This is somebody who, if you're going to go and steal something, it's like, and you stand outside the camp and you plan forever, you might get caught. Sometimes if you're going to be, a sneaky, if you're trying to be sneaky, like you got to have, you can't be, you can't overplan. And so this can be a card of somebody that's trying to get away with something and is spending so much time trying to plot how they're going to get away with it that they end up just not moving and not doing anything. Can also be getting caught. It could be like, this person's trying to sneak out and the wolf wakes up and is like, no, and, alerts the other people. So this could be literally somebody, an attempted deception that is revealed, somebody that is trying to be sneaky is caught. So it's definitely not feeling like they're in a very positive space right now. And then we've got reason. The vampires are saying like, look, divine counterpart, it's time to think clearly. Take some freaking advice. If somebody's been telling you the same thing over and over again, then maybe it's time to start paying attention. If you keep having, it's like if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. And as Dr. Phil said, I don't really like Dr. Phil, by the way. I think that it's, there's definitely problematic aspects about what he does, but one of the things that he says that I actually really like is he asks people all the time, well, how's that working out for you? And that's literally what Spirit is asking the divine counterpart right now. They're like, okay, so you've been doing this for a while. You've been trying this sneakiness. You've been trying this, cutting corners and getting away with shit. And you keep getting caught. You keep getting, you get caught, you fall flat on your face, and then you have to rebuild. And this shit keeps happening. And Spirit's saying like, how's that working out for you? When are you going to start listening to advice? When are you going to start using your freaking intellect? Think, man, think. And I say man like in the general sense, not man like because I'm speaking specifically to males. I'm saying, language parlance. Anyway, this is literally somebody like Spirit is saying you got to use your thinker here. You've got to engage your higher reason. This trying to sneak away, being in balance, doing all of this stuff, this is your like lower self acting out. This is like childish behaviors. If you were thinking clearly, if you were being more logical and approaching things from a intellectual standpoint, literally thinking, using your critical thinking and not just acting out your old wound patterns, you'd transcend this and you'd shift shit. But right now you're just like continuing the same thing. Spirit's like, you gotta listen up. So what is the counterpart bringing? We've got the King of Wands, the Sun, and the King of Swords. So the counterpart is bringing a lot of king energy, which is telling me that the counterpart in this situation is probably the person that's holding it together. It's probably the person that's keeping shit functioning. This is like, you look at the contrast in the energies, right? Okay, so I'm going to move these so you can kind of see a little more clearly. Look at the contrast in the energies of what the divine counterpart is bringing in right now. stagnance, imbalance, deception, sneakiness, right? And then you've got the karmic who's in the King of Wands energy, which is, again, this bringing that compassionate, reserved energy, someone who's faithful, someone who's confident, a person who is using their intellect, someone who is thinking about things, someone who takes their life and their responsibilities seriously. Okay, that's this energy. So this is where the karmic is right now. And then we've got the sun. The sun energy is positive. It's the most positive card in the deck. It's like, I can see clearly. That song, I can see clearly now. So the karmic is in a space of feeling like they're seeing things clearly, that things are making sense, that things are positive, that the sun is shining, it's summertime, everything is awesome. That's the energy. Just really feeling like it's a time of growth and thriving. That's what the karmic is bringing in, is this energy of successfulness, brilliance, things being illuminated. And they've got this King of Swords energy, feeling powerful, feeling like they're an authority. What's interesting is that it's kind of, I'm getting this, it's kind of a gross energy. And I do mean gross, like it feels gross as I'm like feeling it. It feels like kind of slimy. Literally, just bear with me. Like the weaker that the divine counterpart is, the more that they're struggling, the more imbalanced they are, the more like out of whack they feel, the more powerful the karmic feels. And that's part of this dynamic. Holy shit, that just gave me goosebumps all over my body, because it's such a truth thing that is happening, that the karmic actually prefers this energy, this divine counterpart feeling beat up and beat down and lacking confidence and doing all of that, because then they get to shine. Then they get to be like, without me, look what you would be. Without me holding the shit down, look at you. You'd be, falling over. You'd be stuck in this non-moving energy. You'd be sneaking around, getting yourself in trouble. So here I am holding you down, keeping it down. I'm like, that ride or die kind of energy. And it really increases, like it increases the counterpart's sense of dependency on the karmic because of this. And that is actually working in the karmic's favor. That's why they feel so powerful right now. Very interesting. So the karmic is bearing witness. It's like they know, they have personal evidence about things. They're like, this is like, wow, okay, so this is really interesting, because it's definitely resonating in my situation, where I'm like, where it's like the karmic isn't as, in a lot of situations, and this may not resonate for you, but just bear with me and listen. If it doesn't resonate, let it go. A lot of times where people will think like, is this karmic, do they not know? Like, what is going on? Like, are they this clueless? And this card right now, what this is saying to me is like, no, the karmic knows exactly what is going on, and this is the power. This is their manipulation, is that they know, they know exactly what's going on. It's like this, they're witnessing it, they see it, and that's where they get their power. So it's not that they're stupid, it's not that they're naive, it's not that they're even blind to it. It's like that this actually serves them. This, whatever is going on, this kind of the divine counterpart feeling beat down and not confident, as actually serving them. And so it's a really kind of devious, manipulative kind of thing, but this dynamic is apparently working for both of them right now. So what is the karma that they're working through? Eight of Swords, Four of Swords in reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. So the Eight of Swords is, as you know, well, as you may not know, but you do know, you'll know now. It's a mental prison. It's a mental prison of your own making. It's something that you could shift out of if you wanted to. You might have to struggle a little bit, but it's definitely something that's possible. So they're working on getting out of their own mental prisons, like that they're caught up in. Both of them are in a mental prison. But because God, how awful. Like, think about living in this kind of dynamic where one person has to be weak for another person to feel strong. Like, how shitty would that be, right? That in order for you to feel powerful, someone else has to feel beat down. Like, you can't be in a functioning relationship with two people feeling empowered. There's something seriously wrong with that. And this is the Eight of Swords, that they're both in this space of feeling caught in a mental prison that they need to work through. We got the Four of Swords in reverse, and this is about some inaction that's coming to an end. So this is Spirit is kind of prompting them and pushing them to get out of this stagnance, get out of, come back to life. Okay, you've been in your cave, you've been hiding and retreating and feeling beat down and bad long enough. It's time to come back and face the music. If you did something and you screwed up and you made some mistakes, you caused some harm, it's like, it's fine to just face it, to deal with it. I had a friend on Facebook this morning that said something and got called out about what was said. And it was just very, thank you for the correction. Thank you for illuminating me. I really appreciate it. That's how you handle fuck ups. If you fuck up, it's like, just own it. You don't have to make it, so it doesn't have to be a big deal. Come back out and face the music, face whatever it is that you need to face. And then we've got anyway, let me finish this. They're avoiding that. Right now they're kind of in this retreat space because they're avoiding any accountability and that being taking responsibility. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and this is somebody again who's feeling a very deep sense of insecurity. They're feeling a lack of stability. They're feeling not feeling very nurtured. They're holding on to this pentacle, this material thing, whatever this connection, the karmic connection that they have in the world, they're holding on to it very tightly because of their insecurity and their fear. It's not so much that they care about each other, that they love each other, or anything like that. It's just that they're afraid, literally afraid of being alone. And this energy, the question that I'm asking right now is, what is the karma? And it's they're working through, literally, this eternal youth. It's it's fucking time to grow up. Literally is what Spirit is saying. That's the message that just came through. Although I added the fuck. Spirit doesn't curse, not to me anyway. But it's time to grow up. That's what Spirit is saying, is the karma that they are working through is that they're both acting in childish freaking ways. This energy of all of this stuff is childish. This is immature energy. This is I feel better when you feel bad is unhealthy. It's childish. It's not a mature, it's not a divine energy. Carl Jung, psychoanalyst, did a lot on archetypes, and he wrote, there's a lot of books about the different archetypes of masculinity and femininity, and it's a lot of the immature energies are one of them is called the high chair tyrant. I don't remember what the book is called. I wrote a series about it. If you want me to share the link, I'll do that. But the point being that these behaviors are childish. These are not the behaviors of mature masculines and feminines. Whether you're a divine or not, we all embody those masculine and feminine energies, and manipulation and control and insecurity and those kinds of things. Those are not mature energies. Those are very immature, and they're in this space. The karma is that they need to grow up. That right now, this situation is letting them continue to perpetuate and continue engaging in these patterns of a continual immaturity, continual not needing to grow, because growing up requires increased responsibilities, right? It's when the Bible says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, but when I became a man, I behaved like a man. And this situation is keeping them from having to grow and having to take responsibility and having to shift their lives. So what is ahead for this connection? So we've got the Lovers in reverse, the Two of Swords in reverse, and the Six of Wands. So funny. I'm laughing because this is look at me, praise me. So we've got the Lovers in reverse, which is about unrequited love. I'm telling you guys that this connection does not have love. Okay, so if this is whatever kind of connection, I'm really getting karmic partner, romantic partner, but this could be other situations. But right now, I'm really picking up on that karmic relationship energy. And it's this is not. There's no love here. There is like that. Where is the love? There is no freaking love here. It was a bad decision. It was a wrong choice. They should not have been. They should not have been in a relationship. They're incompatible. It's not satisfying. It's it's not what they had hoped for. It's like they're living in this constant state of being kind of like unhappy, like where the relationship is not fulfilling. It's like there's just this constant ache for more. But that's what is ahead, and that's what they're continuing to be in. So we've got the Two of Swords, which is, in the traditional tarot, it's swords that are crossed and the woman's wearing a blindfold. And this is like inner conflict. This is like not knowing which way to go. Which choice do I make? What do I do? This is a card of inner conflict. In reverse, it's saying that there may be some new information that comes to light. There may be some kind of revelation that leads somebody to take action. Some kind of decision will be made, whether they're going to stay in the connection, leave the connection, try to shift it, whatever. But there's definitely going to be there could be some motion, some decisions that are being made, and things that will help lift some of the pain and the anxiety. This is a card that also suggests like someone continuing to be in a space where they feel stress and negativity and weighted down because of the environment they're in. This is like have you ever been in like when you are, if you ever do like a Netflix binge and you end up like watching Netflix, and then by the time it's bedtime, you're sitting there and you're like, I haven't done shit today. I've just been sitting around, but I'm so freaking tired. And it's like they're almost exhausted more from their inaction and not taking steps than they would be if they started to like get their shit together and move forward. So then we've got the Six of Wands, and so what's ahead and with that is that the Six of Wands is like the Five of Wands is like a battle. There's this energy of like people are fighting, there's conflict, and then the Six of Wands is feeling like a victory. If you look at this, it's like people are like praising this person, like this person has overcome, and they're like, oh, hail the queen, whatever. This is somebody who is, this could be somebody who's a little bit of a braggart. This is somebody who likes feeling admired. This is somebody who's definitely trying to build a reputation. It's interesting. This could also be, and this sound, but just within alignment with all these, the energies that came through, is like it could be that they continue this facade of like praising this relationship and putting it out there like it's so great, like everything is wonderful, when literally it's like they're like the emperor's new clothes. You remember that storybook where the emperor, like this con man comes in and it's like, I can weave you the most beautiful clothes of gold and silver, and they like works on a loom, but it's like literally the guy is pretending, but the king is so invested in it, in having these clothes made by this particular person, that they, even though they can't see shit, they're like pretending to see it. And it's like this, everybody is buying into this illusion, and everybody's like, oh yeah, that, the emperor's new clothes are amazing, it's wonderful, look at the stitching and the gold in the lapel, and it's amazing. And there's this kid that's watching this emperor parade around naked, and the kid is like, are you all fucking crazy? Like this person is naked, the emperor is not wearing any clothes. And it's literally like the energy of this card in alignment with all of these other things is that it feels like you, divine counterpart, are in this space, the counterpart of the person that's in the karmic relationship. So that would be those of us that are watching this video are aware, and you're the kid that's saying like, the emperor is naked, the emperor being this relationship. And you're seeing it, everybody else is, a lot of people around are probably seeing it, but as with many situations, people don't speak the truth because they're afraid of it. They're afraid of the consequences. Well, what happens if I call it? What happens if I say this, if I call this out, how's that going to impact people? Maybe they like being comfortable. Maybe the king actually likes being naked, and who am I to tell him that he shouldn't be, right? And so it just feels like this illusion will continue to be upheld for a while anyway. Wow. And what's ahead? It says yielding, rapture, and bliss, ecstasy. So what I get from this in alignment with these cards is that there will be, I don't feel like it's going to be soon for a lot of people. For a lot of connections, I feel like this is going to be, we got that energy. There was one earlier about really slow moving energy. The Chariot in reverse. I don't feel like this is going to be a fast thing. Like I don't think we're going to see significant changes in the karmic situations that I'm channeling right now in any time soon. I don't think that it's going to, I think it's going to be a slow shift. But there will be a point where people are going to kind of yield and give in and be like, okay, I really want to be happy. Like this dissatisfaction, this illusion of satisfaction is no longer enough. Like I need something a little bit more. I need something that's going to actually be satisfying instead of something that looks great on the surface and tastes, is terrible on the inside. What I was thinking of is this quote from a book. It's called A Breakup Because It's Broken. And the quote is, all the mayonnaise in the world won't make chicken shit into chicken salad. And at some point, somebody's going to realize that they're going to have to yield. If they really want to have ecstasy and they want to have like this upright, they're going to have to yield, and they're going to have to acknowledge that things are what they are and that they've been mixing mayonnaise with chicken shit, trying to make chicken salad, and it's still chicken shit. It's still not what they want. And there's going to have to come a point of surrender, of yielding and being like, okay, this isn't what I want. This isn't working for me. I need to do something different. And when they reach that point of surrender and being ready to allow spirit to have spirit's way, then things will begin to shift. So, yeah, that is your karmic reading for this week. Very interesting energies. I can say for sure that I'm glad that I'm not in that situation, because it just doesn't feel good. This energy that's happening in these karmic situations is not positive. It doesn't feel good. It's not divine. And so if you want to, pray for your counterpart, pray for the karmic, pray that their eyes will be open to the fact that they deserve love, that they deserve real, true, genuine, authentic love, not this, emperor's new clothes kind of love, they're pretending that it looks good, but on the inside, they're just kind of aching and longing for something more. So I hope that this reading resonated. Have a wonderful day. Again, if you want to book a private reading with me, please do so by clicking the link below. I'll talk with you soon. Bye.